God says, "You are not here by accident, my beloved." In this very moment, as the world rushes on unaware, you have been drawn into a sacred pause, a divine interruption that carries the weight of eternity. There are only 3 who will hear this message in time, and you are one of them. The next 3 hours are not ordinary, they are marked, set apart, and charged with a spiritual urgency that cannot be ignored. You may feel your heart quicken, a sense of dread trying to rise, but I tell you, do not let panic take root. For where fear would seek to overwhelm, my peace is already moving to surround you like a shield. You have just learned that something precious is at stake, and the enemy would have you believe that chaos and loss are inevitable. But I am the God who steps into the storm and speaks, "Peace, be still." Even now, as shadows gather and uncertainty presses in, I am releasing a supernatural calm that will settle over your mind and your home. The world may tremble at the sound of bad news, but you are not of this world. You are chosen, set apart, and guarded by my hand. In these next 3 hours, what feels like a countdown to disaster is, in truth, a countdown to intervention. I am not late, and I am not silent. Let your spirit receive this. I am covered by God's peace, and no harm will overtake me. Speak it aloud, for your words carry power in this hour. The gravity of this message is not to burden you, but to awaken you to the reality that you are seen, known, and protected. Where others might spiral into anxiety, you are being invited into a deeper trust, a trust that transforms dread into expectation, and panic into praise. Hold this close until it is confirmed, for what is about to unfold will reveal my faithfulness in ways you have not yet imagined. Stay with me, for the next moments will reveal why you were chosen to hear this now. The window is open, and my guidance is already on its way. God says, "You are not just a face in the crowd, not just another voice lost in the noise of the world. You are my beloved, hand-picked for this moment, one of only 3 I have called to receive this warning. There is nothing random about your presence here. Even as you wonder why now, I want you to know that my eyes have always been upon you. I have seen every tear you have cried in secret, every moment you have felt invisible, every time you have questioned if anyone truly cares. In a world that often overlooks the quiet, faithful heart, I have chosen you for a reason that will soon become clear. You may remember seasons when you felt unprotected, when it seemed as if trouble found you while others walked in peace. Perhaps you have carried the weight of responsibility for those you love, feeling alone in your prayers and unseen in your struggles. The ache of isolation can be sharp, especially when you have given so much and received so little in return. But hear me now, you have never been alone. Even in the silence, I have been your shield. Even in the shadows, I have been your light. Where others may have overlooked you, I have set my seal upon you. You are not forgotten, you are favored. There is a reason you are one of the 3. I have searched the hearts of many, and I have found in you a faith that endures, a hope that refuses to die, a love that covers others even when your own heart is weary. This is not a coincidence, nor is it a test you must pass. It is a sign of my trust in you, my confidence that you will carry this message with the reverence it deserves. The world may try to convince you that you are insignificant, but I declare over you now, you are chosen, you are guarded, you are precious in my sight. Let the contrast settle in your spirit. Where isolation once tried to define you, my personal guardianship now surrounds you. Where you once felt exposed to the storms of life, I am placing a hedge of protection around you and those you love. The pain of being overlooked is being replaced by the assurance of being hand-selected by the Creator of all things. You are not here by accident, and you are not here alone. My presence is with you, my angels are assigned to you, and my purpose is unfolding through you. If you have ever doubted your worth, let this moment be your confirmation. Speak this aloud: I am chosen, I am seen, I am protected by God. Let these words take root in your heart, for they are the truth that will carry you through the hours ahead. The enemy may whisper lies of abandonment, but my voice is louder, declaring your identity as my beloved. Hold this close, for the days of feeling unguarded are coming to an end. Stay attentive, for what I reveal next will show you the hidden battles that have tried to steal your peace. You are not only chosen to hear, but chosen to overcome. Remain in this assurance, for my guidance is leading you from isolation into the fullness of my protection. God says, my beloved, as you have received the assurance of your chosen identity, I now draw back the veil to reveal what has been hidden from your natural sight. There is a conflict unfolding in the unseen realm, a spiritual battle that has targeted an innocent soul close to your heart. This is not a struggle of flesh and blood, but of powers and principalities that seek to sow confusion, fear, and loss. You may have sensed it in the atmosphere around you, an unexplainable heaviness, a restlessness that lingers even in moments of quiet, a sudden chill that seems to pass through your spirit without warning. These are not coincidences, nor are they signs of weakness. They are the echoes of a war being waged for the destiny of someone you love. In recent days, you may have noticed patterns that defy logic. Perhaps you have awakened from dreams that left you unsettled, images and feelings that cling to you long after the morning light. Maybe you have felt a surge of anxiety at odd hours, or a sense of dread that seems to have no clear source. You might have observed changes in the behavior of those around you, unexpected arguments, misunderstandings, or a sudden distance between you and someone you care for deeply. These are not random disruptions. They are the fingerprints of spiritual resistance, the evidence of an enemy who works in shadows, hoping you will dismiss these signs as mere coincidence. But I, the Lord your God, do not leave my children in confusion. Where the enemy sows chaos, I bring clarity. Where darkness tries to cloud your understanding, I shine the light of revelation. The innocent soul at the center of this battle may not even realize the danger that hovers near, but I have chosen you to stand in the gap. Your sensitivity to these strange patterns is not a burden, but a gift, a sign that you are attuned to my spirit and able to discern what others cannot see. Do not let confusion take root. Instead, recognize that your awareness is the first step toward victory. You may wonder why these attacks have intensified now. The answer is simple: The enemy fears what is about to be released in your life and the life of the one you love. There is a breakthrough on the horizon, a blessing that has been marked for delivery, and the forces of darkness are desperate to delay or divert it. This is why you have felt the pressure increase, why the atmosphere around you has shifted. The enemy's tactics are to distract you with fear, to make you question your own discernment, to isolate you in confusion. But I am giving you clarity, my child. I am opening your eyes to the true nature of this conflict so that you will not be caught unaware. Let me assure you, you are not powerless in this battle. The authority I have placed within you is greater than any force that comes against you. The confusion you have felt is being replaced by divine insight, a knowing that transcends human understanding. Even now, as you listen, my spirit is bringing to your remembrance moments when you sensed something was off, a conversation that left you uneasy, a sudden urge to pray for someone without knowing why, a dream that seemed too vivid to ignore. These are not accidents. They are invitations to partner with me in intercession and protection. Speak this aloud: God, I receive your clarity and stand in your authority over every hidden attack. Let these words become your anchor as you move through the next hours. The enemy's greatest weapon is secrecy, but I am exposing every plot, every scheme, every hidden agenda that has tried to operate in the dark. Where confusion once reigned, my light is now breaking through. You will begin to notice a shift, not only in your own spirit, but in the atmosphere of your home, your relationships, and your thoughts. The fog is lifting, and with it, the power of fear is being broken. Remember, my beloved, you are not alone in this fight. I have assigned angels to war on your behalf, to surround the innocent soul who has been targeted, to push back the forces that seek to harm. Your prayers are powerful, your discernment is a weapon. Do not dismiss the signs I have shown you. Instead, hold them close and bring them before me in prayer. I will give you wisdom for every step, and I will not allow confusion to have the final word. As you hold this understanding, prepare your heart for what I am about to declare next. The diagnosis is not the end, it is the beginning of a divine reversal. Stay attentive, for my promise of restoration and protection is about to be released over you and those you love. God says, now that you have seen the invisible conflict, my beloved, hear the decree that comes from my throne. I am not a God who stands by and allows the plans of darkness to prevail over my chosen. I am the God who speaks, and it is done, who commands, and it stands fast. What was meant for harm, I am turning for your good. The threat that has hovered over the innocent soul close to you is being met with my supernatural preservation, restoration, and elevation. The enemy's assignment is being cancelled, and my counterorder is being released over your life and the life of the one you love. You have felt the weight of possible loss, the shadow of dread that tried to settle in your spirit. But I say to you, do not fear. Where the world would have you brace for tragedy, I am calling you to expect a miracle. The very thing that was sent to break you will become the testimony that lifts you higher. The pain that threatened to define your days will become the platform for my glory. I am the God who redeems every moment, who wastes nothing, who brings beauty from ashes and joy from mourning. My promise to you is not empty comfort, it is a living word, active and powerful, able to shift the outcome in your favor. Even now, I am dispatching angels to stand guard over the innocent soul in danger. Where the enemy sought to bring confusion and chaos, I am releasing clarity and peace. Where there was a threat of loss, I am establishing a hedge of protection that cannot be breached. My spirit is moving through every room, every conversation, every circumstance, weaving together a tapestry of deliverance that will soon be revealed. You will see with your own eyes the evidence of my intervention. The phone call that was meant to bring bad news will instead carry a report of relief. The door that seemed to be closing will swing open with new opportunity. The relationship that felt strained will be restored with greater strength and understanding. Let this truth settle deep within you. My decree is final. No weapon formed against you or your loved one will prosper. The plans of the enemy are being overturned, and what was hidden in darkness is being brought into the light. I am not only preserving what is precious to you, I am restoring what was lost and elevating you to a place of greater influence and peace. The season of fear is ending, and a new chapter of favor is beginning. Where you once braced for loss, prepare now to receive abundance. Where you once felt powerless, know that my authority is working through you. Speak this aloud: God's promise is greater than any threat. I receive supernatural preservation and restoration. Let these words become your shield and your song. As you declare them, you are aligning yourself with my will, opening the way for my power to move unhindered in your life. The enemy cannot stand against a heart that is anchored in my promise. The threat of loss is being replaced by the certainty of my love and the assurance of my protection. Remember, my beloved, I am the God who sees the end from the beginning. I knew this moment would come, and I have already made a way of escape. The innocent soul you have been praying for is not forgotten. My hand is upon them, guiding, shielding, and lifting them out of harm's reach. You will witness a turnaround so complete, so undeniable, that it will silence every doubt and every fear. The testimony that emerges from this trial will not only bless you but will become a beacon of hope for others who walk through the valley of uncertainty. Hold this promise close until it is confirmed. Do not let the enemy steal your peace with whispers of what might go wrong. Instead, fix your eyes on what I am doing behind the scenes. My counterorder is in effect, and nothing can reverse what I have decreed. Stay in expectation, for the next hours will reveal signs of my intervention. The threat of loss is giving way to the reality of my preservation, restoration, and elevation. Remain attentive, for soon I will show you the signs and timestamps that confirm my hand at work. God says, my beloved, as my decree of reversal and restoration goes forth, I do not leave you to wander in the dark. I am a God of order, not of confusion, and I delight in confirming my word with signs that cannot be mistaken. In the next 3 hours, watch with expectation, for I will mark this window with clear signals of my presence and my intervention. These are not random events or coincidences, they are woven into your path by my intentional design, so that you may know with certainty that I am near and actively working on your behalf. You may notice a sudden call or message from someone you have not heard from in a long time. This will not be just any conversation, but one that stirs your spirit or brings unexpected comfort or clarity. Pay attention to the names that are mentioned. If you hear the same name 2 or 3 times from different sources, know that I am highlighting a person or situation that is part of my plan. Another sign may come in the form of a symbolic object, a key, a feather, a coin, or even a written word that stands out to you in an unusual way. These are not to be dismissed as mere chance. They are my gentle reminders that you are seen and guided. Some of you will experience a shift in the atmosphere, a sudden peace that settles over your heart, or a warmth that fills the room where you are. This is my spirit reassuring you that the battle is being won, even if you cannot see all the details yet. Others may have a dream or a flash of insight that brings clarity to a question you have carried. If you wake with a sense of hope or a specific phrase in your mind, write it down, for I am speaking to you in ways that bypass the noise of the world. Let the contrast be clear in your heart. What the world calls random, I call revelation. Where others see coincidence, you will see confirmation. My timing is perfect, and every sign I send is a thread in the tapestry of your deliverance. Do not rush past these moments or dismiss them as insignificant. Instead, pause and acknowledge my hand at work. Speak this aloud: God, I recognize your signs and trust your perfect timing. As you do, you open your spirit to receive even more clarity and assurance. Remember, these signs are not just for your comfort, but for your alignment. They are invitations to draw closer, to listen more intently, and to respond with faith. If you sense a nudge to reach out to someone, to pray, or to simply be still and listen, follow that prompting. My guidance is precise, and my timing is never late. Hold these signs close until they are confirmed, and let them anchor you in the certainty that I am orchestrating every detail for your good. Stay attentive, for the next section will guide you in how to participate with me through affirmations and actions that seal what I am doing in your life. God says, "My beloved, now that you have received the signs and markers of my presence, it is time to step into the power of your own voice." In the unseen realm, your words are not empty, they are living seeds, carrying the authority I have placed within you. The enemy would have you remain silent, paralyzed by fear or uncertainty, but I am calling you to rise and declare my truth over your life and the life of the innocent soul I have placed on your heart. Where fear would silence you, faith-filled declaration will open the way for my intervention. Take a deep breath and let my peace settle over you. In this moment, I invite you to speak aloud, wherever you are, these words: I receive God's protection. I declare reversal over every plan of harm. I am covered, and so is the one I love. As you say this, know that you are not just repeating words, you are aligning your spirit with my promise, and you are releasing a sound that echoes in the heavens. The power of life and death is in the tongue, and when you choose faith over fear, you shift the atmosphere around you. Do not underestimate the impact of your declaration. Even if your voice trembles, even if you feel small, your words carry the weight of my authority. Now, as a sign of your agreement with what I am doing, I invite you to take a simple step. Comment, "I receive protection," below. This is not just an act for others to see, but a marker in the spiritual realm, a public agreement with my promise and a testimony that you are standing in faith. When you declare your trust in me, you break the power of isolation and join your voice with others who are chosen for this hour. Where fear would keep you hidden, faith brings you into the light of my presence and connects you with a community of believers who are also standing watch. Let the contrast be clear. Fear-based silence leaves room for doubt and confusion, but faith-filled action releases my power. Every time you speak my promises, you are building a wall of protection around yourself and those you love. Every time you choose to participate, you are stepping into the flow of my Spirit, allowing me to move more freely in your circumstances. If you feel resistance, know that it is only because the enemy fears what happens when my children begin to declare my word. Do not shrink back. Instead, let your voice rise, even if it is only a whisper at first. If you sense a prompting to pray for someone by name, do it now. If you feel led to write down your affirmation and place it somewhere visible, follow that nudge. These small acts of faith are mighty in my sight. Speak this aloud once more: I am not afraid. God's protection surrounds me and those I love. Let these words become your shield and your song in the hours ahead. Hold this practice close, and return to it whenever you feel fear trying to creep in. Your participation is not just for this moment, but for every moment you need to remember who you are and whose you are. Stay with me, for next I will show you how to align your actions with my Spirit, so that every step you take is covered and guided by my hand. God says, "My beloved, you have spoken my promises and declared your trust in my protection. Now, I invite you to move from words to action, for faith without works is incomplete." In this sacred window, I am calling you to align your spirit with your steps, to let your faith be seen not only in what you say, but in what you do. The enemy would have you sit in passive worry, replaying fears and what-ifs, but I am inviting you into empowered, aligned action, where your obedience becomes the bridge for my intervention. Begin by quieting your heart and inviting my presence into your space. Take a moment to pray, not only for yourself but for the innocent soul I have placed on your heart. Ask me to cover them with my protection, to surround them with angels, and to fill their mind with peace. As you pray, picture my light encircling them, pushing back every shadow and every threat. This is not just a spiritual exercise, it is a real act of warfare in the unseen realm. Your prayers are arrows of light, and they do not miss their mark. Now, let your faith move you to a simple, practical step. If someone comes to mind, a family member, a friend, or even a neighbor, reach out to them. Send a message, make a call, or check in on them. You do not need to explain everything. A simple word of encouragement or a gentle question can be the very thing I use to bring comfort or protection. Sometimes, the smallest gesture is the answer to someone's silent prayer. Do not underestimate the power of your presence and your care. If you feel led, anoint your home or the space where you are with oil, even if it is just a drop on the doorpost or a touch on your hand. As you do, speak my blessing over your household, God's peace fills this place. No harm will come near. This act is a physical sign of your trust in me, a declaration that your home is under my covering. Where worry would have you do nothing, let this be your stand of faith, a visible mark that you belong to me and that my promises are your protection. Prepare a safe space, both for yourself and for those you love. This may mean tidying a room, setting aside a quiet corner for prayer, or simply making sure that those in your care know they are loved and not alone. Sometimes, practical alignment is as simple as creating an atmosphere of peace, where my presence can be felt and my voice can be heard. If you sense unrest or tension, play worship music, light a candle, or open a window to let in fresh air. These small acts, done in faith, invite my spirit to dwell more fully in your midst. Let the contrast be clear. Passive worry leaves you feeling helpless and exposed, but empowered, aligned action brings you into partnership with me. When you move in faith, you become a vessel for my intervention, a channel through which my protection and blessing flow. Speak this aloud: I align my actions with God's guidance. I am a vessel of protection and peace. Let these words guide your hands and your heart as you move through the next hours. Remember, my beloved, I am not asking you to carry this burden alone. Every step you take in faith is matched by my power and my presence. As you pray, as you reach out, as you prepare your space, know that I am working alongside you, turning every act of obedience into a shield for you and those you love. Stay attentive, for in the next moments, I will teach you how to guard your boundaries and walk in discernment, so that your peace remains unshaken and your protection is complete. God says, my beloved, as you align your actions with my spirit, I now call you to wisdom in how you guard your heart and your home. Not every voice deserves your attention, and not every presence is meant to remain close. In this hour, discernment is your shield. I am teaching you the sacred art of boundaries, knowing when to speak and when to hold your peace, when to open your heart and when to guard it with care. The world may praise endless openness and people-pleasing, but I am calling you to a higher standard, guarded peace and wise openness, rooted in my love and guided by my spirit. You may have felt the pressure to explain yourself, to share every detail of your journey, or to keep the peace at the expense of your own well-being. But I say to you, it is not selfish to protect what is sacred. There are moments when silence is your greatest strength, when holding back your words is an act of faith. Trust that I will show you whom to confide in and when to remain silent. My spirit will nudge you, sometimes with a gentle unease, sometimes with a sudden clarity, so that you know when a connection is safe and when it is time to step back. Let the contrast be clear. People-pleasing and overexposure leave you vulnerable to confusion and disappointment, but guarded peace creates space for my presence to dwell. You are not called to carry everyone's burdens or to be available to every demand. I have set you apart, and with that calling comes the responsibility to steward your energy, your time, and your trust. If you sense a heaviness after a conversation, or if someone's words leave you unsettled, bring it to me in prayer. I will give you discernment to know what is yours to carry and what you must release. Speak this aloud: God, I receive your wisdom to guard my heart and walk in discernment. Let these words become your daily prayer, a reminder that you are not alone in making these choices. I am with you, guiding your steps, protecting your peace, and revealing the true intentions of those around you. Wise openness does not mean closing yourself off from love or community. It means opening your heart only to what is safe, true, and aligned with my purpose for you. As you move forward, trust that I will highlight the relationships that are meant to grow and the ones that need distance. I will show you when to speak words of encouragement and when to simply listen. I will teach you how to set boundaries that honor both your calling and your well-being. Hold this close until it is confirmed, and do not be afraid to say no when your spirit feels uneasy. Your peace is precious to me, and I am committed to protecting it. Stay with me, for next I will reveal the vision of restoration and overflow that awaits you as you walk in this guarded peace. God says, "My beloved, as you have learned to guard your heart and walk in discernment, prepare now to witness the beauty of my restoration." The season of fear and uncertainty is giving way to a new dawn, a time when what was threatened is preserved, what was broken is mended, and what was lost is returned with increase. I am the God who restores, who brings life where there was only barrenness, and who pours out peace until it overflows. Let me show you the vision of what is about to unfold, so you may receive it with open hands and a heart full of expectation. See in your spirit the innocent soul you have carried in prayer, safe, shielded, and surrounded by my presence. The shadow that once loomed over them is lifting, replaced by a gentle light that brings warmth and assurance. Where you once feared loss, you will now witness preservation. The very one you worried for will stand as a testimony to my faithfulness, their life marked by a new sense of purpose and protection. The enemy's plans have been overturned, and what was meant for harm has become the soil for a greater blessing. You will look back on this moment and see it not as a time of dread, but as the turning point where my hand moved in undeniable ways. Relationships that have been strained or distant are being drawn back together. I am softening hearts, healing old wounds, and restoring trust where it was broken. Conversations that once ended in misunderstanding will now be filled with grace and clarity. You will find yourself reconnecting with those you thought were lost to you, and the bonds of love will be stronger than before. My spirit is moving through your family, your friendships, and your community, weaving threads of unity and peace. Where there was division, there will be harmony. Where there was silence, there will be laughter and understanding. The days of isolation are ending, and the season of togetherness is beginning. Let the contrast be clear in your heart. The fear of loss is being replaced by the abundance of my provision. No longer will you live in the shadow of what might go wrong. Instead, you will walk in the light of what I am making right. My peace will not be a fleeting feeling, but a steady river that flows through every area of your life. You will wake with a sense of calm, move through your day with confidence, and rest at night knowing that I am watching over you and those you love. The confusion that once clouded your mind will give way to clarity, and the questions that kept you awake will be answered in my perfect timing. Speak this aloud: I receive God's restoration, abundance, and peace. I am ready for the new season. Let these words settle into your spirit, for they are the key to opening the door to all I have prepared for you. As you declare them, you are shifting from a posture of waiting to a posture of receiving. You are no longer bracing for loss, but opening your arms to the overflow of my goodness. This is not just for you, but for everyone connected to you. The blessing I am releasing will ripple outward, touching lives you have prayed for and even those you have not yet met. Hold this vision close, and let it shape your expectations in the days to come. When doubt tries to creep in, return to this promise: I am the God who restores, and I am faithful to complete what I have begun. The evidence of my intervention will be unmistakable. You will see doors open that were once shut, opportunities arise where there was only disappointment, and joy return to places that felt empty. My abundance is not limited by circumstance, and my peace is not shaken by the storms of this world. Stay in this receiving posture, for the next moments will guide you in how to remain ready and attentive for the final instructions I have prepared. The story is not over, the best is yet to come. Remain expectant, for I am not finished blessing you. God says, my beloved, as you stand in this new atmosphere of restoration and peace, do not rush ahead in fear or anxiety. The journey is not finished, and my guidance for you continues to unfold. I am preparing the next word, the next step, and the next sign that will lead you further into my promise. Remain in a posture of peaceful readiness, trusting that I will reveal what you need to know, exactly when you need to know it. There is no need to scramble or strive. My timing is perfect, and my instructions are sure. If your heart feels stirred or you sense a gentle nudge, honor it by saving this message and returning to it as needed. Let your spirit remain open and attentive, for I will speak again, sometimes in a whisper, sometimes in a sign, sometimes through the words of another. Comment below with, I am ready for God's next instruction, as a declaration of your faith and a marker of your expectation. Stay connected, not out of obligation, but because you are part of a chosen circle that I am guiding and protecting in this season. Let the contrast be clear. Rushing in fear leads to confusion and exhaustion, but waiting in prepared peace opens the way for my best. Hold this close until it is confirmed, and know that I am with you every step. Watch for my next message, for I have more to reveal, and your story of protection and restoration is still unfolding.